Right now on Denver 7 News at 7 o'clock on Local 3, a Denver police chase with a suspect ends with an overturned police SUV and 2 officers in the hospital.
One of the wildest things I've seen in a while.
Yeah, we're hearing from neighbors who had a front row seat to this chaotic scene.
And an ABC News exclusive. For the first time, Barry Morphew and his daughters are speaking out after Barry was charged with murdering his wife, Suzanne.
Also, new phase in the search for the Broncos' new owner. In-person visits coming to the stadium. We're breaking down who's in the running to take on the team and the price tag that will go along with it.
Will it be Sam's Club Stadium?
Sam's Club or Walmart Stadium? Who knows? Yes. Let your imagination go wild on that.
Let the speculation begin.
Thanks for joining us on this Friday morning. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. We're getting ready for a nice weekend. Lisa is here with the forecast and good timing for Mother's Day.
Great timing. It was great to get some rain. So far we stand at just under an inch of precipitation officially now for the month of May. It's going to dry out though here for the next few days, and any storms that roll off the foothills this weekend are going to be few and far between. 55 in Denver right now. Southwest winds at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. It'll be a southwesterly wind that's going to help to boost us well into the 70s by 12 o'clock lunchtime, and then we're going to hit highs right around 80 this afternoon. So it's going to be pretty warm. That's a good 15 degrees above normal. Near 90 for parts of southeastern Colorado, southwestern Colorado, Durango also near 80, Grand Junction low to mid 80s. So it is warm and dry today statewide. The winds are going to pick up a bit more tomorrow. We'll take a look at the fire danger, plus that chance for a few showers in spots this weekend coming up.
A lot of the early morning problem spots that we had are starting to be cleaned up, including some construction that we had on the northbound side of I-25 going up from the Greenland exit or so up to Larkspur. Take a look from the camera down there. They were doing some bridge work. They just picked up lanes about 3 or 4 minutes ago, but it's going to be rough going over this bridge area, so it's still going to be slower than average. Right now the drive time is getting better because lanes are open. It's not 127 minutes, which would be well over a couple hours, so it's not that. It's more like 20 minutes. We do have still some delays at Havana and Dartmouth for a bad crash there that's still being cleaned up. And that you're going to be rerouted through the neighborhood through there. Still busy on I-70, 270, and that north side of town. And good news, all lanes on I-70 are open heading up Lookout Mountain.
Thank you, Jason. A Denver police SUV flipped upside down, and now 2 officers are in the hospital after chasing a suspect through a neighborhood.
Veronica Costa is in the neighborhood where that happened. And Veronica, there are some questions about why police were speeding through a residential neighborhood.
There are, but here's the thing, nothing forbids officers from pursuits in neighborhoods. DPD's policy actually says that those officers should first consider the nature of the area before engaging in that pursuit. And we spoke to neighbors in this very neighborhood who said they had to think fast to be able to stay safe.
They were going at least 100 miles an hour, at least. We just took our kids inside and made them stay inside.
It was pretty fast, but it all happened right when they came over those dips. You could hear all the cars hit the bump, so they were going fast because you could hear that when they bottomed out. But then in that 100-foot stretch there between that and the alleyway, everything just came to kind of a weird slow motion halt.
The chase that landed this police cruiser upside down started because of a shooting. This was just after about 5:30 yesterday right here in southwest Denver. Police say the 2 officers investigating that shooting, they saw the suspect's car and then they started chasing it. But as they tried to stop the car, the cruiser somehow rolled over in this area. Now the 2 officers involved in the rollover, they're expected to be okay. Police were able to take that suspect into custody as well. We're live in Denver this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Veronica. The former Loveland police officer who violently arrested a 73-year-old woman with dementia has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. Austin Hump pleaded guilty to 1 count of felony assault. In addition to prison time, he'll serve 3 years parole and is not allowed to work as a police officer. Hop and another officer, Daria Jalali, stopped Garner in 2020 after she walked out of a Walmart without paying for $13 worth of items. A lawsuit filed after the arrest claimed the officers refused to provide Garner with medical attention. Jalali is also facing charges in the case. She pleaded not guilty in March. Her next court date is scheduled for June. In a statement after Hop's sentencing, the interim Loveland police chief said his department is grateful for the DA's pursuit of this case, adding, while this will not change the terrible treatment Ms. Garner experienced, we hope that this sentence can bring some measure of justice to her and her family. In Denver, La Alma Lincoln Park is back open today. Denver park officials had closed it for a week because of recent violence. Last week, a 63-year-old man was killed while trying to break up a fight. The city says the plan is to keep the park open for now.
Well, all new this morning, and for the very first time, we are hearing from Barry Morphew and his two daughters. He is accused of murdering his wife, Suzanne, back in 2020. Last month, though, a judge dismissed those charges against him.
Only GMA's Amy Robach sat down with the family on what would have been Suzanne's birthday.
We've been silent for a long time, and we've decided that we finally want to break the silence.
This morning, just days before the second anniversary of her disappearance, the family of Suzanne Morphew is speaking out for the first time since the murder charges against her husband were dropped.
It's been an emotional roller coaster, but we feel like we can finally take our first steps in healing, which is a blessing. And yeah, we just know our dad better than anyone else. And we know he was not involved in our mom's disappearance.
Mallory and Macy Morphew, standing by their father, who investigators believed was responsible for their mother's disappearance 2 years ago. The three, seen walking out of court arm in arm just moments after the charges against him were dropped.
We want to heal. We feel like we haven't been able to heal these past 2 years.
The family says Suzanne left her Colorado home for a bike ride, but never returned.
I just love my girls. And I love my wife, and I just want her to be found.
But investigators told a different story, arresting Barry Morphew, the charges ranging from first-degree murder to tampering with physical evidence. Prosecutors argued that Morphew discovered his wife was having an affair, then murdered her, disposed of her body, and staged a bike crash in a rural area. Releasing this body camera footage from the hours after she was reported missing, police saying Morphew touched evidence.
Hey, could you not touch that bike with your hands, please?
Morphew's daughters say he isn't a killer and are celebrating the dismissal of the case, now demanding District Attorney Linda Stanley should do more.
I just hope that Linda will step up to the plate and do everything she can to find our mom, because what they've done is not fair. And we're never going to stop looking for our mom.
Court filings say that while authorities are close to discovering Suzanne's body, weather has complicated the efforts. The location where Suzanne's body is believed to be has 5 feet of snow concealing it. But the family's attorney says authorities have mishandled the case and are planning to file a complaint against the DA.
And if you want to honor Suzanne and you want to honor the daughters, go find Suzanne.
The DA's office telling ABC News they and law enforcement have been diligently searching for Suzanne Morphew since she was reported missing, and that they are continuing to do so.
Prosecutors need to be held responsible, and they need to pay for the damage they've caused to Barry, which is frankly nearly irreparable, because it's hard for anybody to believe that Barry is not who they claim he was.
It's a case that may not be over either. The charges against Morphew were dismissed without prejudice, which means if investigators find new evidence, he could be charged again. Lisa is here with a look at a warm weekend ahead.
It will be. Today is going to be dry statewide, and we'll stay pretty dry across the state through most of tomorrow. The mountains, we're going to see some 60s and 70s on Saturday. Here in town, mid-80s. Now, late Saturday into Sunday, there will be a chance for a few scattered showers in the high country, and we may see 1 or 2 of these storms roll east. We'll talk more about that, the chance of that on Mother's Day coming up.
Heavy stop-and-go traffic across 270 and I-70 out to the east side of town. You can see that from the camera there, Vasquez. We're looking at the westbound side right here. Somebody pulled over to the left shoulder on that eastbound side, but not. It's just a hazard for you here this morning. We'll take a look at all the drive times and a big delay out of the Monument area, Colorado Springs, getting up into Castle Rock. That coming up in just a minute.
If you're itching to travel for summer, United Airlines is offering more international options starting today, the destination where it is expanding flights. Plus,
shot blocked away, another shot,
Ball Arena was rocking last night. Cale Makar, the overtime hero, as the Avs overcome a stingy defense to take a 2-0 lead in their playoff series.